Hello, we are here at the ToutSuite after show of Alive and Kicking. I'm Dr. Sharon Ufberg, and I have with me today Dr. Christine Page. Thanks so much for being on the show with us, Christine.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's great to be with you.
It's been so fabulous getting to talk to you and talk about your new book. Here is a look at this book. It is a real beauty. It's, the name, The Healing Power of the Sacred Women. It's a really powerful name for a book. I'd love for you to tell the audience, just kind of repeat after we've spoken on our NPO interview about the book a little bit and about what exactly inspired you to write a book like this. I know you've written several other books. You're a real leader in the field of healing wisdom and a homeopath and physician. And this book is a little departure from that. And I'd love for you to talk about why this book.
Yes, I wrote my first book 20 years ago, Frontiers of Health, and I wrote it on that every illness has a personality link and really saying we need to listen to the message of the body, and the body never gets it wrong. Someone and they say, fancy her getting breast cancer. She's such a nice person. And I wanted to scream at the television and say, that's the problem. She's too nice. Because one of the features that we know about cancer patients is that 85% are nice people, and that niceness starts to eat them up. And I therefore decided to write a book just for women about how can I help women to change old patterns where niceness may be okay in some situations, but a little bit of a raw or a little bit of a bitchiness is actually okay at certain times.
Oh, what a relief. I have to say that, when you read the preface of your book and you talk about the fact that you really started this journey of writing this book prior to your own personal story of getting breast cancer, it's amazing. I think it's just so interesting that you were led to this work, and then here you in fact had your own breast cancer story. Could you share that with a little bit more with us about, because I think it's so connected to the work that you're doing.
I thank you, because my belief has been, what I've been teaching is that the body is actually your greatest friend. It's not the enemy. So I've been very much saying to people, don't talk about battling with your illness or battling or suffering from something. Your body is trying to help you to change. And that's been my message as I've taught intuition, which is listen to your body or listen to your intuition. There's a part of you that's saying where you're going doesn't work for you anymore when you get sick. So here I am, I write this book 2 years in the making, send it off to the publisher. 2 weeks later, I develop a breast lump. And I use the words, I developed it. I didn't get it. It didn't happen to me. I developed it. And when I got the breast lump, understandably, I had the normal sort of emotion around getting cancer because it was cancerous. But the fact of the matter is I knew that at some level I had created this in order to grow more deeply. And what I did, and I was very fortunate with my medical team, was that I said I need time away before I go into the medical system to actually delve deep into my own psyche and really find out what is the message that needs to be heard and what do I need to change in my life. And it very much became clear that this nice person that I wrote about was me. And I had learned at a very young age, because I'm very intuitive, as many people are, I'd learned how to read the signs and work out what I needed to do in order to be liked. And I had got it to such an extreme that I'd lost myself. And that is so much part of breast cancer, is that I had got lost. And that when people talk about, oh, you have to love yourself, that's the issue in breast cancer, I said, I don't even know who the self is that needs loving.
It's so interesting.
That's what I learned, was to come home to myself.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, your message, because it differs from some of the other schools of thought around the fact that, the wisdom of your soul, the wisdom of your body. And there is this sentiment that there's some blame, that somehow if you are withholding, then you create this illness. And I think it's very important that to make the point that that's not what you're saying, and that
No.
you're talking about, really digging deep and understanding some of this, the root and the source of potentially some of what comes up physically based on what's, inside and part of your soul work. So I think it's that difference is very important to demonstrate. And I think your book has lots of pearls of wisdom that helps people to kind of unpackage some of that understanding. Do you want to share like one or two of your pearls of wisdom from the book?
Yes, from what you're saying is one of the things I always ask someone is what was going on when you got sick? And that's a very important question. And I've had so many people. I mean, I'm 35 years into medicine. I've met thousands of people. And when I ask that question, so many say, I know why I have cancer. And I think, I didn't even ask you that. And I think as physicians, we're missing vital information. And I just want to say, I believe that 90% of illness is a wake call from the soul. So it really is a very valuable way of us understanding and shifting perception. And I think through the writing of the book, I couldn't believe how disconnected we have become as women from ourselves. We've got very disconnected from our hearts, the sense of loving ourselves without blame, without shame. We have to be a good girl to be loved. My goodness, who on earth taught all these ridiculous questions, comments? We are loved just for who we are, but that's so hard because we've got all these features that are telling us we've got to look a certain way and be a certain size, and then we'll be perfect and be good in bed and all of these things. And then when I got down to the sacral chakra, I worked with the chakras, but I was really interested in the womb and the ovaries and the vagina. And I went, nobody taught me that my periods are the most powerful time in my life. I was taught by my mother they were the curse. And so, I have turned that around and saying, wow, without women cycling and actually having a period, we will never get rid of old energy, just like the fall or the autumn happens. And we can never take on new energy if we don't do that. So women are essential, and it is essential for us to keep purifying what we're holding on to, which is often old beliefs from ancestral energy. So there's just a few things that I work with. Yeah.
I think that is really a great example of the kinds of wisdom that you share in the book. I would love for you to share now, before we have to go, how people can find the book. Again, The Healing Power of the Sacred Woman by Christine Page. How people can find you if they want to hear more or have specific personal questions for you, which I'm sure people might have.
Well, very good. My book can be bought through Amazon, through other sellers. It can be on our store. We have the book on the website, which is easy. It's christinepage.com, Christine with a CH. And christinepage.com. I'm on Facebook. You can join me there. Again, it's Christine Page. And if you want to get in touch, then info at Christine Page. It's just all there, nice and simple. And I run workshops on, doing this rituals for cleansing, inspiration, nurturing, using music to really be a wonderful way of riding those new waves of change.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Christine Page, for being here at Alive and Kicking with us today.
Thank you so much, and thank you.